our Speaker General, Father Moses, is here, together with our parish priest, Father Alfred. Father Moses, I know, is presenting the Archbishop Morris, and he asked that I should come and preside over this ceremony because of his other busy schedule. So, Samarugin be chacho jikama tena. Aboli kiwati. Dodoki en matene. So today I want to pay a special word of thanks to God, who opened the hearts of our missionaries in the persons of Father Leo Battles the late, who began his Nyabondo here in 1929, and later on was joined by 2-3 others. But the one that began his home was now the late Father Hans Kuntner. Kuntner came from southern Austria, which after the war is now part of Italy in the north. A place called Merana and those places, Brixen or Bressanone. When he started here, there were just a few disabled children that were around. But when he went to the outstations, he realized there are also children in those outstations. We had never known there would be a school for disabled children or children with disabilities, as now we like to call them. And so since that time, 62, the small house was built there, the one we just passed as we were coming in procession. That's where we started off. A small dormitory there, with some boys on this side and some girls sitting on this side. And I still remember the first lady that was taking care of them there. The Dutch lady that also came and followed them. And the African lady that was from Malego. I remember I saw her late when I was a priest, an old lady. But those days she was a young girl here who knew how to play accordion to entertain the students. I began there because when you see this place, you think it was like this. It was just a tiny, small house there. And afterwards, Father Kuntner wrote to the family of the Kennedys, J.F. Kennedy. And they are the ones who donated something that I think they have done away with now. There used to be a small little swimming pool there, supposed to be a swimming pool. But I remember water was put in, but our students couldn't know how to swim in those days. Later on, I think they changed it to something else. When I went to the U.S. in 1979, I drove past Kennedy's home. And I was told they also had a disabled child. And that is what made them respond that if there are these children with disabilities in Africa, they can also contribute to this home. Then I want to say, just like a concurrence of history, in 1963, when we got independence, that even that time, Mzee Kenyatta also came here. Sister Ludwig will tell us the date, 27th of January, I think, something like that. Together with Mama Ngina. So the first president of the Republic of Kenya visited this place with his first lady, Mama Ngina. I was a witness in the book that later on, before we get there, when he came, he was accompanied by the Vice President, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, was here. I was late. That time when he came also was Tom Boyer, the one who gave us the session paper number 10, kind of the first minister of constitution in this country. And even Ronald Ngara also was here from the coast. So, as much as this place may look not so big, but you can see that God led important people to come here. And even their presence here is what has enabled us, perhaps in God's plan, to arrive to where we are today. When I was ordained a priest in 1968, when I said my first mass there were also these same children with disabilities were also there, a few of them. So already at that time, I had known who they were. But I knew through the Kundna because I was a mass server, and we went round. And we used to go around and I ring the bell when we arrive at the home. Okoth na iwakirane. Tuwatero lemo. Mwakwae ko jirano mondo gimiwa. Gimora mora mageni go ober bel, ober oduma, ober kara banana rabulu. Mangethino gibiro chamoka. The children here did not begin with a set menu. They ate what the localities gave us here. So today, as we look back, we thank God that all those generosities of our people has made this institution come to what it is. And so when I became bishop in 1978, there were the Franciscan missionaries of Africa here. And they had come, they were in Uganda mainly, but for the battles invited them here in 1956, when we were starting the hospital and the girls' school, the primary girls' school here. At that time there was Sister Finton, I remember very well, and Sister Scholastica, I remember those two names. Those were Wazungus, but they were from Ireland. But they taught the first girls of Nyakach here. And one of them was my late sister Dorothy, who follows me. So you can see that the hand of God has been working in this place. And so in 1983, I was still a young bishop at that time, Sister Colette Hart's, one of them, who was taking care of these students here. He came to church to tell me, I've learned of an organization, and they are here in Kisumu area, and they went to visit Maseno School for the Blind. Can I go and meet them, Bishop? So I said, go and meet them. And whatever you need, if you want something from them, just talk to them, and we can write later afterwards whatever they can give us. That is how we came to know CBM from 1983, when Sister Colette was here with her other Franciscan sisters. There were about 10, 12 there in that convent, the other side. Sister Kizito was one in charge there. Mzee Odette is here. I'm sure he knows something about that. And so we see that God's grace has worked. Gimuza timerekaeni nema nyasaye usetiyo. Now from 1983, they were here. So when they asked me as the bishop that, what shall we do? We are getting old. We don't have young people in Uganda either, or from Ireland rather. Then they said, can we invite the local sisters here? So then I made application to our Franciscan sisters of Oudenbosch, as they used to be called, work. Sister Matilda was still alive, I think, at that time. And then we got, as an experiment, they said we shall send one of our sisters there. And whom did they send here? And that was Sister Ludwig. Sister Ludwig, you see here, already was here with those Wazungu sisters in 1988 when she was appointed here. There was a little break afterwards, but she came back here. And whatever you see here is a little bit of some history, how everything has moved from that time. So I'm giving you that background so we don't take this day as just a casual day we came here to meet our CBM people. Our CBM, we are grateful for you because since 1983, you have been cooperating with us and collaborating with us. There have also been some local also benefactors that helped us. NGOs are local. Sometimes we get some donations from the banks or from individual groups working in this country. And therefore also we cannot forget the Kenya Society for the Disabled, which was headed at that time by the Honorable Awori, who was also that became the Vice President of this country. So now we used to get the funds for some donations yearly, sometimes intermittently, from also the Kenya Association for the Disabled. And you know, that time there was a fund, which President Moi presided over, and there used to be interest every year, and that interest is what was being given out to all the institutions with the people with disabilities. So we also thank them, even if they are not here, our local partners, all the organizations, those banks, those institutions. I wonder if Safaricom was there at that time, but I know there were others who gave us certain things as well. So now today, our hearts are full of gratitude. We thank God for this great gift He has given to us. From 1963 up to now, it's nearly about 59 years. But if I count the year of building 62, it is actually 60 years since this institution was started. We have a reason to thank God. But today in particular, we have more reasons to thank our CBM partners, CBM International. And so we express our appreciation and gratitude to CBM International for all they have achieved in this institution. Ever since that time, we have been having a couple of projects year after year, sometime intermittently, but they have responded favorable to us in all these years. And in particular, I want to mention a few that through them the Lord answered our requests, our petitions, our project applications throughout those years. And the first was the need for orthopedic surgeons. And remember that time we used to have like Dr. Marula coming from that Kijabe place, used to come here with the flying doctor service, landing here sometimes. So we welcome our Deputy Governor and his team. Welcome. I'm just giving a short history of what this place has been. And so today in particular, we have to thank our CBM partners for the need for orthopedic surgeons that they have given to us who used to come here from other areas like Ijabi. And also, we have now our reconstructive surgeons, that's what they do. But even now I know we have also doctors from our own people here, coming here. And even the one who was doing operations here the other day, I know him too. So we thank CBM also for not only for the reconstruction surgeons, but also for the payments of doctors and nurses that have come here and did the operations on our students. At that juncture, I want our people to know that through the operations done here and the years that have gone by, Sister Ludwin, I hope you have got a record of all the students who have gone through here. Because even our reputable lawyer, Oraru, told me that he was also here, one of the first students to be here, where some reconstructive work has been done on him. And I know when we were celebrating some years ago, I think Silver Jubilee, we had lawyers and doctors, even from the neighboring tribes. So it's not only the Luos here, they have been coming from other tribes as well. The Kipsigis, the Nandis, the Luyas, the Kisis, and even beyond. We have been taking also the Kamba people here, the Kuyus. We have been taking everybody. We have never discriminated. The Maasais have come. So we thank God that all those students that came here, majority of them, when they left here and continued with their, some with their studies to the universities, some also to their colleges, and most of them went into the area of what we call TVET now, where they became, especially the ladies, were doing the sewing industry that has been here. And many of them also left here are doing business. And that is a great thing. Where they are doing cooking or selling all kinds of items, they have been here with us in this institution. God has blessed the work of their hands. And there are many in the country. And even you know that our engineer, who was helping us building the schools I've been doing around and the churches here, Mr. Kennedy Odongo, was a student here. So we have harvested here even engineers and many people working in certain industries as well. So I think we should be happy and rejoicing that God has blessed the work of our hands. And God has blessed, in particular, the work of the sisters who began here. Right from those sisters from Uganda who are here, the 10, 12 of them. I have the Sister Colette, I was telling you, that's the one who was into this home when I was a bishop here. And now we have been having our sisters, women. After that, the Franciscan sisters of St. Anne agreed to come here. And so they have continued the work here, both here and now also in the hospital. So we must be grateful to God for having given us our own sisters And our own brothers now also are working here. And we have our other sisters, Franciscan sisters of the Good Shepherd, whom also I founded a few years ago. They are also here. The brothers of Our Lady Perpetual Help, whom I founded, are also here. And with the support of our veteran sisters here, Franciscan sisters of St. Anna, we are deeply grateful. And I saw Sister Martin here convey our gratitude also to our Superior General, who is in Nairobi, or lives there anyway. So let us thank God today that the inspiration that He gave to Father Kundunas to begin this work of taking care of the physically challenged has borne fruit not only in Kenya and beyond. And I understand these days we are also getting even cases from Uganda and Tanzania coming here for operations, for restrictive surgery. And I'm sure Dr. Jakinda is not here. I'm deeply grateful for his continued perseverance with other doctors who have been assisting here, like Dr. Hillary and all the others. I think it is a day for us to thank God and to thank CBM International for this great courage they have taken many years to be with us and to assist us. These were people, when I was young, disabled children who were hidden behind the houses. When this blind is hidden, and this a bit deaf is hidden. Donga ngeni chalo gima be ne giluo ne ka wango ne ka nyoro ngazima muo futo ka ng'ato dwaro nyara to koro bi kendo awinjo kama. Mine madongo ung'eyo mana an ok ang'e mang'eny. But nowadays that's not difficult. We have schools for the deaf, like in Nyangoma. We have schools for the blind, like in Alua. And I also added them a secondary school for the blind in Bondo, a big one there, which we did in Monsignor Grima. And we also have a school also for the deaf blind in Awasi. And the sister in charge also, I saw her here. So God has blessed our work here. The work of the physically disabled started here, but afterwards, other aspects of disabilities have been taken care of. Even the mentally challenged, we take care of that in Madian. We started that too. And of late, the one that the Honorable Mayor Saitoti, the late, actually called me and said, Bishop, there is some new area of disabilities which has come into the world but now has entered Kenya. Cerebral palsy children. As I thought, he told me, I'm giving you a small amount, start building the primary. And he says, I have confidence, Bishop, that because of the other works I've seen in your diocese, which are not even the others, you'll be able to raise up these children with cerebral palsy. These are the ones we have at St. Martin's there and at St. George in Nyamaroka there. And when the late I told, he told me it will be, you'll get about 40, 50. There are over 240, I think, in primary and over 250 in secondary. It was a big institution just down the road here. And I still thank our Franciscans of St. Anna for having dared, together with Sister Ludwig, that we also started the other one. Okay, now we have also other sisters there, which is also very encouraging. That is what we are doing for humanities. for the development of our people. And we cooperate with the other well-wishers and donors, what we nowadays call in project PPP, public-private participation. So that is the reality why we are gathered here today. And CBM has even added us other things, not just the payment of doctors and nurses, but there's long-term rehabilitation for the cerebral palsy. They have both assisted us with capacity building and networking, so that some of our kids now even know how to use the modern means even of computer and all these things. So I think it's a great joy that those people thought would never learn are now learning with speed, even in the digital world. We also thank CBM for sponsoring our staff for exchange programs that have been going on year by year. Tremendous speed of cooperation. And now we thank them for donating, I think of recent, and we are going to bless it, the machine, the washing machine and the dryer, so that now we can also, our kids can enjoy what other people think only when you work in Nairobi or when you live in high places that you can use those machines. Families with money and so forth, those who earn money. Now today we know that even our children here are going to have their clothes, washed with a proper washing machine and a dryer. So there's no difference if you're washing your clothes as a minister or you're washing your clothes as somebody physically challenged. You are all washing the same clothes. So we thank CBM for that. We have elevated the spirit of our students. We have lifted up their hearts. And I'm sure they're very grateful. And so now I know after this we shall also bless the vehicle for outreach programs. And I saw it there. It is even bigger than mine. But how happy am I that that vehicle will be used to carry youth students, to carry youth staff members, so that when somebody is passing you with a pride, even if you are disabled, you say, yeah, we are also passing them. We are also passing. Yeah. I think it's something to be happy. Let's clap for CBM. Makofi moja. So I think it's a wonderful thing to be grateful to God and to all people who have helped us. And we're all working for humanities. And today also we are going to bless also the completion of the children's ward. People only think that good wards must only be in Kenyatta Hospital or in Nairobi Hospital. Our children's ward here, you look at them, they are just as nice as the one there. In fact, the mattress they sleep on and the blankets, there's no difference, Omera. There's no difference. Whether you are a child with disability, you are going to sleep in those wards just like a child sleeps in the Aga Khan Hospital, Nairobi or Nairobi Hospital. The same is here. So I think we have enough reason to thank God today for His generosity to our children with disabilities. our disabled children. But as they say, disability is not inability. They can do all things. Some of these children are in the banks. They're the chief executive accountants. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are in good business. So that disability is no longer there. It's just physically there. But it's still very light now because you even have new wheelchairs which can speed. You know, you can even drive around, travel with them, you know. And I saw people with disabilities going for shopping at Naivas, you know, I saw in America, going to big supermarket. A person who doesn't even have a complete leg, but the car is designed such a way that from remote, she can try the car to open, then another is press, the seat will come out, will sit down, she will sit on that seat with another strike remote, the seat will climb up and go back to the car, and with another remote, she will drive the car and go for shopping. And after doing the shopping in the supermarket, she comes back and drives home. That is why in many supermarkets, you will realize only those with the disabilities are allowed to park very near the supermarket door. So for me today, I just wanted to express to you the reality. So whereas we have come from far, God has been with us. And God has blessed us. So we thank Almighty God for having opened the hearts and pockets of our CBM partners. So I think we thank God that we're having heard our prayers and saw the need of our people with disabilities, agreed to open the hearts of our donors and of our partners, nowadays we call them partners, especially CBM, so that the Lord allowed that they opened their hearts and they also opened their pockets, so that all that we have received from them have come from the abundance of their hearts and from the abundance of their pockets. Manange kino tongulo. Okeno fugo yugame yao. Genege yao nwa chuni gidi benege yao nwa bende. Ufugo himar pesa. Mume wa hilo mechi mabaya majupo kaka uwe. Kwa wagone gero kamano. Kwa mchichumagi siti kwa kumhigiri mangeni. Kino wakwa Nyasaye mondo medi gi teko, to un bendo medu. Kino mano wadhi nyime, kaka ne wawinje somo mokwongo, that Paul and Kage asked that we never stop thanking God for His graces, His goodness we have received, especially through our CBM partners. Responding to the love of Jesus Christ, our healer, our Savior, and our Redeemer. Manamatin maripuni no kadoni. Awaju menega manika gibwenega giwazes anagone menya sairu kamano. Kumchak mano chaka igama pira uche gariyo gipada kundna. Kinduka koseda kwenye kasani. Kagedungu leo manika binogwezi manika. Josisa manoa Uganda nogwi muti ukaini. Maginjo Franciscan Sisters of Africa from Holyoke, Ireland, Lansedika Orgikuro, Tene kai ni mokwaro kane gipuonjo nwa nyithindo be nyiri ka. Achiel kuom gin Sister Scholastica Twaba nyinge and Sister Fintan agani puonjo ka. Kae Sister Colette kane obiro ka, ema koro nomako koni higa mar 83 mowacho nane jomoko biro ka ni CBM. Gidhi limo Maseno School with the blind. Bishop adhi wuo kodgi. Dhi wuo kodgi. Kane gisewuoyo kodgi to giyie ni ginyalo konyo. Nyaka higa mar 83 nyaka sani, jogi muneno nyinge ni kagi CBM osebiro ka konyowa ka nyaka sani. Ndalo moko be gichung' matin, ndalo moko be giduogo, to gin gisebiro ka gikonyowa maber. Koro mano agonegi mahero kamano kuom rito nyithindogi. Tich matiere ka mar operations mitimo kae ni, ma nyathi biro kae ni kalaka to kowuok kae to wuok konyalo wuotho gi ludhe ariyo kaka noneno moko ni kane. Kendo ka gia kae to koro wapuonjogi be gidhi e skul primary, moko be dhi e secondary, moko be nie ot mar tweng'o kae ni. Kendo bende wachako bende ot miloso be calipas, gik ma giwuotho go tinde waloso gi bende ka. Magi duto wagone Nyasaye erokamano mano yie mondo wabed gi tudruok maber gi jo CBM gi molimowa kagi. Nyasaye noyawo chunygi, adundogi, giyawonwa hera margi, gimiyowa. Giyawo dhod ofuku gi bende ma gijukonwa pesa mane ni kanyo ero ma jo Jerman obiro ka. So wagone gi erokamano. Achiel, ariyo, adek, lwedo, Medi, Sanja, Jesse, Medine, erokamano. Koro mane ma wacho kae ni, to un bende timuru chir ka koro ang'eyo ni kaka piny dhini ok wang'eyo ni gibiro bedo kodwa higni adi. To an gima nyalo wacho ni jo Kenya waseyudo gik mang'eny kuom nyaka ne jo missionary chak bi. To wan be koro sani wadoguru e puonj mane Papa Paul mar auchiel, Paul the Sixth, mabe manomiyo emanoyiero abedo jabiskop. Kendo ambe ago Nyasaye kamano, embe oloke jeta katifu. Ber nato bende ber nubende. Paul the Sixth nowachonwa Uganda, manadhi kuno bende nantie. Nadi 69. Ni saa koro chopo, mondo un jo Africa, ubed jo missionaries to yourself. Ubed jo missionary magu kendo bende. And that is my prayer. I think we have not responded enough. We have been thinking you would like America, Matthew India, wasetimo kamano. Nima bende my sisters working outside Kenya, Europe, and other places. That is good. But koro sani onego ng'i mich machielo mabe Nyasaye dwa mondo wan bende wachak timo. Kata tin manade wan be wachak bedo ni wakonyo nyithindo modak kae. Joma chamo pesa mabup gulagola siling 1,000 dwe ka dwe tioro kae ni mondo wapidhgo nyithindo. Kata 2,000. Hapa ne rito mane ni ma oko chaye michamo. Ma dala ka dwe nyaka wacham. To kata ka ok uchiwo pesa machala kod mesa kae ni rabolo nitie motimo ga chieng'. Ananas be dongo kae. Ndalo moro be nang'eyo kata mana kahawa be ni dongo ka. Gimoro amora minyalo chamo. Kaka ne watimo mokwongo chama, ne wadhi round gi Father Kuntna, kane wakwayo ji chiemo ma e kor gweng'. Apa ni kikwe. Kechani tiere kala makati bechote de yime. Nyethena kebedo wapono wakwani yakonya. Jogo maidu ke maber. Lake logo unia ka mara do maber. Kila kila bolukai ugunia. Kila kila machunga kai. Wanyote, jilbe kenyote. Ya, okuma iti ni mao kemichama. Mao dua kai. Bengara kikuwa kiniki mora. Bel no ere nyuka bel kikilo kayo. Mana bel nyuka bel mito mera. To nyuka kal mit. Gimbele gimadha na nyuka. Igeje mako woro ne ani. Sina ngeje mako kuda ndra. The Archbishop bera. Omera nyuka mamado mera. Gira jibe kaido matin mwana. Tube anyulo go kuon matin. Iku wana jamu gima mwa England. Ajamu lagi mani abanamka. Kwa mwa jone ya. Konyu tendogi. Nija matiyo kawe. Gimbe ke yule ichiu moro. My research. That is how what we call sustainability. Self-sustainability. Wambenya ka wachure. Mane gima papa ne dwaro mondo. Ka wasechopo koro sani wachak ritore kendo wei. Ago ni kamano kumbiro kawuono. Kendo akwa Nyasaye mondo ko ang'waka. Nyasaye opongo ne amala rochuny gine amatim. Ko dok wuoth maler. Le makare. Inwang sakrament. Inwang nema Nyasaye. Inwang gweth ma Nyasaye. Inwang kwe ma Nyasaye. Inwang hai ma Nyasaye. Inwang ng'wono ma Nyasaye. Mondo in bende ichiw gigo ma Nyasaye omiyi gi chuny maler ni jogo madwaro kony. Ok mana jogi kende. Ji mang'eny nie koro gweng' kaini ma bende denyoga. Meja gima Nyasaye omiyi mondo ucham kode. Erokamano chunya goyoni nalona duto igima okru Jesus na osebiro chunya goyoni Nyewa sama maide mtakatifu. Nyingwa, Iwoi, Kichuni mtakatifu. Amen. Kama